Hey guys, this is Omar. I am the Director of Studies at Pushin Merkin, and for this session I'm going to talk about the placement test. If you open the placement test PDF, you can see that I have highlighted the achievement points of each book. And we are going to be placing the kids in the right book level according to their age and whether or not they can answer the questions we have written below. What I want you to do now is to pause this video for a couple of seconds and go through the whole PDF. I want you to go through the whole PDF, including all the questions, and then we'll talk. So 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, welcome back. Now that you have read the questions, let's talk about all of them one by one. In All of Us 1, the achievement points are being able to use is and are. But it's not as simple as that. With is and are, you can say, it is a pen. They are grapes. They are oranges. But it is further complicated with the use of this, that, these, those. And if the kid is able to use this, that, these, those, and is and are properly, then it means that he can do pretty much half the All of Us 1 book. Later on in the later chapters of All of Us 1, we do discuss being able to make simple sentences or simple questions such as yes or no question. Is it a, are you, and stuff like that. So it is very important that the kid knows which verb to use with which form of pronoun. For example, if it's single person, plural, single person, or second person, or it's third person plural, or it's second person plural, or so it's like the kids get very confusing, or it gets very confusing for the kids if they have not had the right instruction or they haven't had the right practice. So that is what we try to achieve in All of Us 1. As you can see, that it's like I have written over here, do, does, has, and have. Those are very important. Those are tackled in the last chapter of the All of Us 1 book. So if you ask them these questions, like what's your name? Are you a boy or a girl? How old are you? What is this? What is this? What are these? What are these? Then it's like they should be able to answer them. They should be able to know what does these mean. Or if I have used these here, then the kid should answer with these are flags. These are pants, instead of just saying that this is a pant or whatever. So in the end, I have written, can you ride a bicycle? Can you swim? What toys do you have? So here, what toys do you have? It's like the kid should be able to know that toy is a type of something. So they should be able to know that, okay, I have a toy bicycle, or I have a toy robot, or a toy car, I have a teddy bear, I have a spinning top. So the kid should be able to answer these questions if they are up to the mark of All of Us 1. So if the kid is able to answer all the questions placed under All of Us 1, that means that you should ask the All of Us 2 questions. And that is okay for pretty much all of these levels. So if the kid is able to answer All of Us 2 questions, you should move on to All of Us 3. If the kid is able to answer All of Us 3 questions, you should move on to All of Us 4. Okay, then let us look at All of Us 2. So here we are still talking about present tense. We have not moved any tenses. We are still talking about do and does, has and have, but here we introduce more verbs. For example, want, like, can, which weren't there in the previous book. So the kid, the only verb that the kids were introduced to in the previous book was is, are, do, does, and has and have. Now here we have introduced want, like. So the kid should be able to tell you that what does he want. So instead of and when he replies, he should be I want blah blah blah. So what the problem with this one sometimes is that the kids can't differentiate between third person singular and first person singular or second person plural. It's like they do not know when to use want and when to use wants. Or even if they know it, they sometimes forget while they're talking. When they're writing, they would do it perfectly well, but they will forget while they're writing them down. So that's what I want you to, that's the aim. So if the kid is not being able to answer your questions, which are over here, that means that he should be doing all of us too. So when's your birthday? What does your father look like? What subject do you like? What do you want for your birthday? Where do you live? So these are very, very simple questions. It's like we do have a lot of questions that we have come up with here at Merkin over the years, but these are like very simple, very few, so that the placement test doesn't take too long. Anyways, so moving on to all of us three. The future tense and the past tense is introduced in all of us three. And the whole theme or the background, you can say, in this All of Us 3 book is that being able to use the right prepositions for places and time. Being able to say on Sunday, being able to say in January, being able to say at school. So it's like even though we do introduce a few new tenses, we introduce the past and the future, it's like it's more in a core, like we are trying to set a theme. We are trying to tell them that like in English, we do have different ways of talking about time. We do have different types of sentences when it comes to the past. We do have different types of sentences when it comes to the future. So that's the whole idea behind All of Us 3. So let's look at the questions we have here. How do you feel? What do you do on Tuesday? What do you do in the summer or in summer? What are you going to do tomorrow? What were you doing yesterday morning? Or what were you, oh sorry, there's a doing missing over here, I'll edit that later. What were you doing yesterday morning? Where did you go last summer? What was there? So this one, the last one, what was there, you can say, you know, like, where did you go last summer? I went to Beijing. Oh, what was there in Beijing? Something like that. So, All of Us 4. In All of Us 4, it's like the sentences get a bit more complicated. And we introduce comparatives and superlatives so that the kids can describe things. But it's also like, it's the stepping stone, I should say. It's like before this, the kids were all doing very confined sort of thing. It's like the scenario was set and they were making sentences within a set scenario. But from All of Us 4 onwards, you can say that the sentences get more real life-ish, but not really, because they are still limited by their vocabulary and stuff. But still, All of Us 4 is the beginning of like talking about things in their own life. So we do introduce new tenses. We introduce 4 new tenses, present and past progressive tenses, which is like I am making a video. I was making a video when my mom called, something like that. Present and past perfect tenses. So I had been in Beijing for 3 years before I met you. That's past perfect. Present perfect would be I have been living in China, or I have lived in China for 4 years now. So so that would be present perfect. So with these new tenses and being able to describe things more clearly and like being able to compare things using the superlatives and the comparatives, the All of Us 4 book, I can say, is where the kids can talk about everyday things. So you can get it, like if you look at the questions, they are a bit more serious compared to the previous ones. Which school subject is more difficult? So it's like more difficult. So it's like it's talking about the comparative. So it's judging the fact whether or not the kid knows more. Who is tallest? Who is the tallest in your family? Who is tallest in your family? Kind of awkward, but it's still you can still use it to judge whether or not the kid can do the kid knows superlatives. What do you have to do at home? It's like, do you have to do? It's like what were you doing yesterday at 5 p.m.? Have you eaten snake meat? Where have you been? What have you done? Where were you born? So these are, as I said, the new tenses introduced. These talk about the new tenses, the present and past progressive tense, and present and past perfect tense. So basically with this placement test, your job is to ask the questions and decide which level the kid belongs to. So just start from zero, just start from here, all of us one, what's your name, very simple stuff. And continue on until you think the questions are just too difficult and the kid can't answer them. And at that point you can stop and suggest that, okay, the kid should go to All of Us 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So that's pretty much it. If you have more questions, let me know and let the admin know, and we should be able to answer them. Thank you.